Um, so we wanted to start off by asking you about when you started collecting vehicles, when you started this journey of collecting.
Well, we started collecting in 1972 in Spring Arbor, Michigan, after I discovered Jackson, Michigan had a history of manufacturing automobiles, and I got enthused about it and never quit.
Where did you find your first car?
I found my first car out in the country in an old barn, and it was built in Jackson, Michigan in 1908, the one directly behind me.
That was the original one. So as you started to collect, why did you start the Ye Ole Carriage Shop? When did it get to the point where you needed to have a building to hold all your vehicles?
Well, as I collected cars, I had to have a space to put them. So we built a museum to start putting the Jackson cars as I found them all over the United States.
Did people bring their cars to you or let you know that they had?
I advertised in some of the car magazines, got a lot of response, and people visiting Jackson looked me up and they told me they had cars made in Jackson. And I said, "Will you sell them?" They said yes. And so we accumulated Jackson cars over the last 40 years.
Just recently we had someone call us from Long Island, New York, and he said he had a car made in Jackson and he was really interested in it coming home to Jackson. And Lloyd was thinking maybe we'd go there and ship it back, but he said no, he'd ship it to us. And so we were just really excited to get this car. What car was that?
It's a 1911 Cutting.
Yeah, a Cutting.
Made in Jackson, Michigan.
My question is, we already have a Cutting. Do we need another one? But it was a different style. So
yeah. Sure do.
It was the Roadster.
Being from here, why was it so important to find vehicles that were from Jackson? What do you know about Jackson's automobile history? A lot of history in Jackson?
Well, Jackson's first car was a 1903 Jackson car, and it was built on the east side of Jackson. And over the years, they built 23 cars in Jackson, Michigan from 1903 to 1954.
Different models of cars.
Different models.
And you've got, how many of them do you have here at the museum?
We have 20 models in this museum, started in 1903 to 1954.
We have 5 one and only Jackson cars in existence. The Steel Swallow is one.
Yeah.
I don't know them all, you do.
But there are some very rare cars, and I don't expect to ever find another one. Hopefully we could, but probably not.
So you cherish these. So what sort of response do you get when people come here and see the vehicles for the first time? Do they realize that so much had come from Jackson when they come in?
They come from all over the Midwest. Jackson is one stop for them to come and see me, but car clubs from all over Indianapolis, Chicago, Detroit call our office and ask for a tour, and about every week we have a group in for a tour. But word of mouth is the big way they find out about us.
Well, I think that people aren't aware that Jackson started building cars in the late 1800s, and they had, it wasn't cars, it was actually, they started out with carriages and buggies. And we have a Jackson buggy back there, and as they progressed, there was a lot of competition, and they were doing quite well, and they were economical, but we had to make these cars by hand. You know, everybody had to work on them, and it also boosted the Jackson economy. It gave them jobs. Spartan horns Spartan started building horns that are sold all over the world. And the economy picked up. And one thing that I was just talking to him about this morning, we are on a railroad track between Chicago and the east. I mean, we had a route in Jackson that the cars could be taken anywhere. But then Henry Ford had to come along with that assembly line and sell a car for what, $250, where Jackson they had to sell them for more money. And basically Henry Ford Detroit took over the market.
But Jackson was a big part of it.
Jackson at one time was our car capital of...
But you're keeping it going by collecting so many of the Jackson cars and memorabilia. But talk about some of the other things. Maybe Judy, you could talk about some of the other things that you collect at the museum.
Well, you know, when you start collecting, Lloyd and I are just made for each other. And, you know, we'd probably be hoarders if we didn't have a lot of room to put stuff. But you'll see that Lloyd has been collecting signs. These are all original porcelain signs on the walls. Gas and oil memorabilia, all kinds of gas pumps. But then we kind of swerved out of the automobile genre to going to we have a Coca-Cola museum. And if you've been to Atlanta, you will see they have lots of little vignettes. But I swear, we have more collectibles in that one room. And so we have a lot of people that like to collect Coke, and they come up and see that. Then we have a lot of board meetings and parties in the Coca-Cola room because we have the old Coca-Cola bar and soda bar and stuff. We needed a kitchen. We needed places to do catering. And so you don't want to build just put in a kitchen in a place like this. So I put in my mother's kitchen. So it's a retro 50s kitchen.
One of the big things are the toys. We have one of the largest collections of pedal cars in the nation right here in this museum. And people enjoy toys, especially old car toys, and we enjoy showing them in our museum.
Yeah, you have 170 pedal cars.
Yes.
I counted them all. and not just pedal cars for toys.
Yeah.
But during COVID, he really didn't, there was a lot of things he couldn't do. And so he got on one of these places where, like eBay, and he bought box toys. So if you go back there, you will see, I don't know how many box toys.
We have about 200, yeah.
So anybody that likes toys, they like to come and see the toys. Bicycles, a few motorcycles. And that back room is kind of a collage of different things. Some airplanes too, model airplanes.
One of the nice things about our museum, we have something for everyone. There's something in this building that attracts people regardless of their hobbies. And we enjoy showing our very many things that have a lot of history on them.
So that brings us to the reason why we're here is you received the MotorCities Award for Tourism at our banquet in 2023. So what were you thinking when you were nominated and then received the award for Automotive Excellence in Tourism last year? The Award of Excellence.
We were really honored to be recognized as a museum that was attractive to people across the state and across the Midwest. I think tourism is one of the big attractions as people are visiting different areas. They come here because we have something special about the automobile industry.
Well, I'll tell you, when you announced it that we won, I mean, we were one of 3 finalists, I really didn't expect to win because we're not Detroit big, you know? We're Spring Arbor little. But when you come to the museum, I have never had anybody walk out of here that wasn't overwhelmed and said, this is wonderful. Everybody enjoys coming here. They find something, like he said, that they're interested in. And sometimes they're interested in something that I don't even notice. And but it was a big surprise and a big honor, and we were thrilled.
It was a special honor.
It was.
And we want to thank your board for selecting us. We're very proud to be here.
Oh, excellent, excellent. No, it was our pleasure, and we were excited to see you win it.
Yeah, we were. So
we're visiting today, and you've been collecting for all these years and done so much work with the museum. What do you see for the future of your collection in the museum here?
Well, we're not getting any younger, but we have a large family, and many of them want to continue showing this museum to people that want to come. And we expect it to go on, especially the Jackson cars. That makes Jackson very special to many people.
So tell everyone who's watching, how can they get in touch with you and schedule a tour and visit the Ye Ole Carriage Shop?
Well, first of all, we do have a Facebook, Ye Ole Carriage Shop, which I think is good to look at. We also we're online as far as a website. We have our website. We are free, but we do like a donation if you come in. It's always nice to have the donations. And we're not open every day because neither one of us have the time to just be here, so it's by appointment only. And if you call, it's my cell phone number, 517-414-1773, and we have that on the literature. And even if you call any of the other numbers that are listed, it all comes back to me. And I have a book, and I like to schedule you in, and we try and make time for families. I have a family that just called this week and said they're coming into town Saturday. Can we please have a tour? And I said, sure, one of us is available. And we like to do tours. We also have other people we've trained to do tours. And especially car clubs. We have a couple big ones, Back to the Bricks and that sort of thing, that are coming in this summer. And I would be remiss if I didn't say the Corvette Club uses the facility quite a lot because we have car shows here.
Right.
So, and anybody can have a car show here. But there's something for everybody.
So we're encouraging everyone to reach out and get in touch if you want to get a tour, see this unique facility. We want to thank you, Judy and Lloyd, for having us here today and for recounting the Award of Excellence. Congratulations again on that. And thanks so much for all that you do to uphold Jackson's history. Thanks a lot.
It's an honor to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.